Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, Miss PK. How are you tonight?
Absolutely fabulous.
Oh, good.
Working like clockwork.
All right. We're getting it done. Hey, tonight we've got Aage Nost back. Now, we lost him a few weeks back.
Right.
To a power outage as we got going into the show, but he's here with us tonight and he's got some really fascinating things to talk about. So we're going to blast through the numbers and bring him right onto the show.
Definitely. It's very simple. What's going on right now is it's a 2-month, 2 deals with partnership, relationship, and sensitivity. Everybody's a little overly sensitive. And it's a good time to take a good look at what it is you are dishing out to those around you. Instead of you feeling overly sensitive, think how sensitive they may be.
Okay.
And it's a good time to connect with others because relationships are made or broken when 2s are around. You could be your new best friend, or you could find out you get your new enemy sitting right next to you. But it's by choice.
Okay.
So, and since it was a Valentine's Day last weekend, it makes people stop and think about the fact that we need to be sensitive to what everybody else needs. That's all. Just be sensitive.
Okay. We can do that, right? Everybody
Definitely.
can? Yes. All right. Well, this is exciting. So we know what's ahead of us and we've just got to pull it together to not blast the other person, right?
Right. And remember, when we tell stories, which we may when the 2 is around, sometimes we say things that afterwards we regret. We don't need to embellish and we don't need to play the game to make somebody else feel less than. Instead, make everybody feel the best they can feel.
Good advice. I like it.
Yeah, it makes it nicer.
Okay. So tonight, as I mentioned, we have Aage Nost with us. And a little bit about him. I've got pages and pages of information on him, but I'm just going to shorten it up so we can actually bring him on the show. So Aage is from Norway, and he is an amazing pilot. He is a commercial pilot. He's a private pilot. He's a flight instructor. He's just got everything together with air travel. So anyways, quite accomplished with all of that. But he also has a big presence in the paranormal community. And he has a book. I believe we have that. We can put that on. Yep, there it is. And he's a scientist. So he's always researching, he's always creating, he's always exploring. And he has a device that we're going to be talking about tonight that I'm very interested in. I know you are too. So I'm just going to stop there. And we're going to bring Aage onto the show and we'll get going. So Aage, welcome. So good to have you back.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I have coffee in hand and I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Ready to go.
Oh, yeah. So, you've done a lot in the paranormal field. You also have your own podcast and you've met some of the same people that we have and more. But you have a device and you wanted to start talking about that and sharing the information on that. So tell us about this device. What is it for?
Well, I got several devices. I think you're possibly thinking of the UFO detector. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of a simple thing, actually. I created that. The first one I made of those, I did it when I was probably about 11 or 12 years old, because that's when I first saw something in the sky that shouldn't be there.
Uh-huh.
And I got really puzzled, and I talked to people kids in the neighborhood, and they pretty much just walked off after their eyes rolled back in the head, and it's just say, no. But I did some research, and I figured if there's something in the sky that is flying without engine, without wings on it, there's got to be something electronic with it. And I did a little research, and I talked to a couple of people that was a lot smarter than me at the time. And I figured it out that it had to be something moved through the air and suppressing gravity that could create ripples in the Earth magnetic field.
Uh-huh.
So I figured that should affect a compass needle. So I built this thing around a compass. And I have a picture of it. I'll show you in a little bit if we can figure out how to share screen here.
Okay.
And this thing worked. I remember, there we go. If you click on the one up right there, you go. That's the one. And that I built it around that compass, the upper middle. And I put it on my windowsill in my bedroom, and I remember it went off. The bell went off 3 times that I know. 2 times I grabbed binoculars and walked outside, and I saw something. And there was one time I don't remember seeing anything. I don't even remember if it was cloudy or what, but I saw something. One of them was a long, oblong, kind of lit up pencil, and the other one was more like a little triangular type of also lit up. So there was something there that had no wings and engines on it. There was no sound.
So how does your device pick this up? Does it just pick up the vibrations, a certain level of vibration in the air that suppresses gravity? I mean, that's pretty advanced. You're talking about it like it's a really simple thing, but
yeah, it's so simple that anybody can build this, and it'll probably cost you about $25 these days to build it.
wow.
I found the battery. You can see the battery upper left. There you go. And then I have a buzzer and a compass casing and a breaker switch. So I run the wire from the breaker switch to the battery, out of the battery, and all the way around into I split the wire up and put it on each side of the compass needle, but not touching it. And then, now this has to be a metal compass. And then I take the wire from the casing of the compass, run it into the bell, and out of the bell back to the breaker switch. Now you have a complete circuit that you can turn off and on. When you turn it on, and something happens that turns the compass needle, it touches the wire, and it set off the circuit, and the bell goes off.
Gosh.
Really simple.
Yes, it is. Why don't you mass produce these? I'm sure our audience would love to have one.
Oh, that's above my pay grade.
Goodness. Well, it's pretty handy because, who wants to sit up all night watching and waiting for these things? This way you can just be alerted when they're actually in the area, like over.
One thing I want to say for those of you that want to read the text on this, go to broadcastteamalpha.com, go into the picture gallery, and go to page 33, I think it was. You will find it. And then you can read the text on how to put it together. It's really very simple. Even a 12-year-old kid could do it. I know you can do it.
Oh, my God. Well, I know I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I'm below that.
I was going to say the same thing.
But anyways, it's phenomenal that you did this when you were so young and you figured it right out. And you've had long history of dealing with UFOs, abductees, things like that. So you've got a lot of information. Tell us what your take is on everything going on right now. We're always promised they're going to do disclosure, and then we got nothing. And then lately there was this Luna person who said, we're coming out with this great information. And then all she did was she came out and said they formed another committee, like, we care. We don't care. It's like, do you care? I don't care that they formed another committee. What's the big deal about that? It's just a delaying the information getting directly into our hands.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't need any more disclosure than there already is, because we know. There is no question. We have been told by establishment, by scientific experts, even NASA has told us,
right,
that there are extraterrestrials. It's called the Smoking Gun document on the FBI website, and it explains, yes, we know there are extraterrestrials coming here. They are interdimensionals, and we are communicating with them. There is, oh gosh, I wasn't going to go there. So I don't remember the file number, but it is, they keep moving it around, so it's a little difficult to find. And it's there, so you can find it. And also FBI have a page that call about UFO. Now I guess they switched it to UAPs, right. But it's all there. And what the really good one is that on national TV, it was announced that, yes, when we take office, we get this dossier, which is a file, and then it explains all about the extraterrestrial presence. That was explained on national TV in Moscow, Russia.
In Russia. And what about in your home country, in Norway? What's the position there? Are they more forthcoming, or do they hide things more than we do?
Norwegians are dumber than stumps. They don't have any clue of what's going on.
Really? So you can't go home again.
I can say that because I was born over there.
Oh, that's cute. Okay. So we won't talk about them anymore. They're of no value.
No. But there are places in Norway where you have a repeatable. There are ships showing up just about every day. Hessedalen is one of them, where they have, in fact, NASA went over there and set up a monitoring station in that valley.
Oh, no kidding. Huh.
Yeah. So they see them all the time, and they have pictures of them. So, and that's not the only place, but nobody talks about it because they're afraid of what their brother-in-law going to think, Oh,
geez. Yeah. Everybody's very concerned about that. I know that people in those northern countries tend to hold their feelings inside, but
I can say that too, because, I have a few families back there, but I don't talk to anyone of family except for one lady that is really sharp. All the rest of them, they have declared that Aage is nuts. Stay away from him.
Oh, no. They don't know what they're missing. That's part of the family. Well,
I'm just going to say that. Yeah.
So Moscow has been more forthcoming. And I know some of the South American countries have been more forthcoming, Mexico especially. So yeah, I agree, and I'm sure PK you do too. That we know enough that it's real. We don't need any kind of blessing from our government. We know they're just trying to own it and run it and make sure that they have the upper hand. That's their deal.
Yeah.
But we continue to watch this whole arena. Now, do you think that there have been more sightings recently? Has that picked up?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and. There is probably a reason for that. One that is rarely talked about, and that is that there is this CIA program. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be, you're on YouTube, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to be gentle.
Okay.
There is this program about involving a fake alien invasion.
Right. Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, there you go. You said that.
I did.
I tell you, the program is ongoing, and that's what they are planning for us to do. They're according, if they go ahead with it, there will be a day when you wake up in the morning and you look up and the sky's got thousands of ships in it.
Oh. But it's
they're all holographic images, except
right.
for a few in between here and there that make havoc with things on the ground to create fear, to rush people to their government and say, please save us.
Right.
And the government will tell them, yeah, do as the government tells you so we can protect you.
And it's all baloney.
Yeah.
It's all about, I mean, they have failed to control us. They tried with the COVID thing, the COVID vaccine, all of that nonsense, and it didn't work. So then they tried having other things happen, which I won't go into, but none of them were pleasant.
Yeah.
And now we have a great president. We have all a kind of just amazing Avenger team. We've got the Doge Boys. We've got all kinds of exciting revelations going on about what the politicians have really been up to, how much money they've stolen from us. And it's really a golden time for the United States, because the people that are willing to see it can see it, and can certainly then recognize if they try a Project Bluebeam on us, that it's nonsense. Let's face it, the aliens have been here longer than us.
Yep.
Whether you want to call them interdimensionals, ETs, or both, they've been here longer than us. If they wanted to threaten us, wipe us out, whatever, they would have done it by now.
Yeah, if they wanted to take the planet over, they wouldn't have waited until we figured out how to shoot them out of the sky.
Yeah.
Good point.
They would have done it a long time ago.
Right. Right. Now, I have a question for you, since you've run across a number of people that are heavily and deeply involved in all this. What about the reptilians? What do you see their place in all of this?
Well, they're just like humans. Some of them are good, some of them not so good.
Mm-hmm.
There are reptilians that really have our best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are others that don't care. And there are others that consider us as prey.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
So I think there are also other extraterrestrials, more so looking like us. And some of them looking like us, but blue skin, like the blue race they talk about in India. By the way, they are all over the moon. And these entities, they have been busy protecting us from the ones that don't care or using us as prey.
Right.
And now the rumors now is that the Greys and they've been chased off. I don't buy that, because there's too many people being abducted to this day that see them.
Right. Well, I just heard a very interesting story, and I'm sure you've heard stories like this as well. And the story goes like this. There's a woman who had a best friend, and one night they all went out together with a group. People were dancing. Her friend was dancing, and she looked over at her friend, and she saw her friend shapeshift. And her friend became much taller and had reptilian skin and looked like a reptile. And she, of course, this woman was totally taken aback. She had no idea what was going on and what to think of any of this. The man she was dancing with all of a sudden must have seen the same thing that she did and ran out of the club. She ran after him to try to get him to stop and tell her what he saw. And he didn't want to talk about it. He was scared to death. So it was a little while later that they met up again, and she mentioned it to her friend. She said, Now, what was going on? And her friend got very quiet and very focused and very direct and said, "What exactly did you see?" And so she described exactly what she saw. And after that, the woman disappeared. She never saw her again. Just gone.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you've heard stories like this, right? The shape-shifting stuff?
Yeah, the shape-shifting has been observed on TV.
Yes. Yeah,
In
some
mo-
people say it's
especially,
a camera glitch, but
especially in minor ways. There
Mhm.
are newscasters. I saw it, and their eyes. Normally you got a little pupil in the middle, but
Right,
the eyes suddenly changed, got a little bigger, and they will have a cat eye. There was a slit in it.
right.
Now, the eyes, for some reason, are some of the first thing that they lose control over.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't understand why, but it seemed like it. There are also people that had been at Buckingham Palace in England. Diana was one of them. She said in one interview that these people are not even people.
Hmm.
They change. They
Wow.
change their form. So the shape-shifting, I know it sounds ridiculous because our Newtonian way of thinking does not allow for it, but it is alive and well.
I've heard about it in the music industry also. There was a story going around by a very famous singer who had it happen when he was meeting with an executive and he saw it happen. And I believe everybody who says they've had that experience, because yes, they're here, they walk among us, they live with us, they know, and we sometimes get a glimpse of this. I just find it fascinating that you also said that the eyes are the first thing to go when they lose control
Yeah.
of the human face. So it goes to the eyes first, and that's the first thing to see. And yeah, that has been seen a number of times on television. A lot of people have tried to explain it as a camera glitch, but I don't think it is.
Well, that's the first thing we do. That can't be. They try to explain it away so we can fit it within our paradigm.
Yeah. And it really, there is no fitting it in. They're here.
No, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, and you mentioned just a few minutes ago that these abductions are going on even today. So are there any that you've heard about recently and going on in Arizona or where?
Not specifically, because I'm mostly in a different arena now. I interview people on UFOs, and extraterrestrials, but otherwise I don't seek out that information so much anymore as I did before. I'm more in now the development of the mind and see what I can do there.
Right. Well, and time travel. So let's move to that. So tell us what you know about time travel.
Oh boy. There's another thing that is hard to fit within the paradigm, but there's an awful lot of evidence, scientific evidence for the fact that yes, it is real. It is ongoing. People can do it. There are pictures. Of course, these days you got to be a little careful with pictures. In just a little while here, if I can figure out how to share screen, I'm going to show you two pictures that I took during time travel, as well as time slippage. Those are two different concepts, but they can work together. Now, the time travel is, by the way, did you know that the Chinese government have passed a law outlawing time travel?
No, really?
Yeah. Why would they do that if the concept was just idiotic?
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
our producer wants to know what page your photos are on, and then she can pull them up.
Page 15, I think, on
Okay.
yeah, page 15 on the broadcastteamalpha.com under the picture gallery. Now, here's another thing that you can do to read about it. The science says that it's real. And you can go to, there are some major publications. BBC.com have there's a news source. You can go to bbc.com/news/July 11, 2018. They explain very well how you can make a time travel device. They say we can do it, but we can't because we're not really supposed to. Okay, here is that picture. On the right side, there's kind of a greenish picture there. Yeah, right below where you have your cursor. Click on those so we can see it. I'll talk a little bit about it. Oh, it is really small, so it's hard to see. Is there a way to blow that up a little bit? Yeah, but then you can also go look at it on your own too, because this is, I think
Janelle's
it's
going to download it and see if she can expand it for us.
Yeah, and okay, I've been messing with this for probably close to 30 years, and I have a time travel device. I got it sitting next to me. If you like me to, I will show you what it looks like.
Of course.
Definitely.
But let me talk about these pictures first. There you go. There is, you can see the road here.
Yes.
And this is, the road is wet. We can see, and here is a tree in the foreground. And there's another tree to the right of that. And then in the middle at the very bottom, there is another tree that has leaves on it. There are leaves on the other trees. And if you look at the gas station down there a little further, this picture I took from, I was in the United States and I watched a video feed from Europe, from my hometown. And I watched the video feed and you can see what it looked like on this picture. If you click to the next one, there you go. Now the road is dry. Down at the bottom, there are no leaves on that tree.
So what happened? I mean, were you time traveling and you took these two pictures?
Okay. I'll get to that.
Okay.
If you can see at the very top, there's a timestamp.
Mm-hmm.
And this is taken at 8:35:17 in the morning. And now go ahead and flip it back to the other one. 8:36:22. That is just a little bit over 1 minute difference. So this tree down at the bottom, it grew leaves in a minute and about 15 seconds.
So
And the road is wet in one of them and totally dry in the other one. 1 minute and about 15 seconds apart. What I did, I was sitting in front of the computer and I was using the time travel device. I hooked it up on myself and I went, see, the time travel device it's an electronic device, but I practiced a lot, but I couldn't get anything done until I started manipulating my brainwave pattern. I brought the brainwave pattern down to about 7 cycles a second. And I'm using hypnosis for that when I do it. And I was sitting there looking at the screen. I took the first picture. And then a good while later, I did the same thing. I sat down and I tried to bring myself back to the exact time that I took the first one. And everything just kind of went away. I went into what I call a meditative state with the time travel device on me. And I tried to match the time to the first picture. But I missed it. with about 1 minute and 15 seconds. So that's when I took a screenshot on the second one. So I have 2 screenshots, and that's why they are different. Now, the timestamp at the top, that's a tricky thing. People can say, yeah, sure, you manipulated that. Well, the thing is that I had computer experts look at that timestamp, and the flow of it, they see no break in the pixels between the picture and the timestamp. So it is one picture. It was not manipulated.
Right. It's
Goodness.
one.
So, and if anybody want to challenge me on that, I do have a picture that you could do your own research on. But that's how that works. And let me give you a little novelty on top of this. I have been somewhat recognized for this because in 2003, BBC Television came over to the United States. They were going to do a TV documentary on time travel. And Michio Kaku was in it. Green was in it, a theoretical physicist, and myself. And they took us to New Orleans, out to an old building out there, and we did the shoot down there. And I explained what I have seen in the future on that video. And then we came back, and they created this, and they ran it on pretty much every English-speaking channel in the world where BBC have access. And it was shown to about over 1 billion people. And there are some things that I saw in there that happened, but some things did not happen. And the reason for that is that back then, my mind was in all the government corruption and all the sleazy things that is going on within government operations. Right. And if I had not changed my outlook on the world from that what I saw would probably have happened, because we create our own timeline on the basis of what we allow to dwell in our mind the most. Mm-hmm. I changed that to a more spiritual and more positive outlook, and I started creating my own future. And in fact, in this book that I wrote, I explain how you can create your future before you have to live it. There you go. And this is something that is really simple to do, but it takes a little doing, because you got to first know what you want to have happen in your future. We know what have happened in the past. Another reason why I know it is possible, because one of the scientific experiments was done by Helmut Schmidt, and he did a scientific experiment, a repeatable one he did several times, where he went back and corrected the past. Now, go ahead and Google Helmut Schmidt experiment, and you're going to have an eye full. That experiment is really eye-opening. He corrected the past.
That we need to take a look at that, because that's fascinating. I remember when I worked for Robert Monroe, he talked about a friend of his who had gone through the program and went back into his own past and did the same thing, corrected something. He had been injured. He had a scar from the injury. When he came back from the altered state he was in, the scar was gone. So there you have it. It's very similar to what you just talked about with Helen.
I rest my case. I love you already because you've done some research. This is great.
So we know that it can be done. And I also like what you're saying about the introduction of brain waves to this process. It has so much to do with that brain pattern.
Let me tell you something else that is really, we can do this right now. My co-host on Broadcast Team Alpha, Nori Love, she's a hypnotherapist, and she does something I haven't seen anybody else do. She put people down into a hypnotic state, take them forward in time to meet themselves, have a conversation with themselves, ask themselves questions about, let's say you're working on a project here right now, and then you go a year in the future and you ask yourself, what did I do to make it successful? And you will have an answer. And then you come back and maybe you want to do that.
Yeah, that would be helpful, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
She's. If you guys want to see your future, get a hold of her. I'll tell you, it will be an experience and a half.
Definitely. Now there was also, I believe it was a Dutch man. See if this rings a bell, Aage. He had a broken pipe under his sink. He went to fix it. He crawled underneath, and he kept going. And all of a sudden, he's looking at himself. I mean, this was physical. It wasn't an altered state. He took pictures of this man who was him in the future. Aged. He had aged, obviously. But they both had the same tattoos. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
That was, oh my God. Talk about blowing your mind. That was one of the best experiences I've ever heard about. Because it was palpable. He met himself. It was a real thing. It was a photograph that was taken. Oh my God. Yes.
Actually, I know that story. The guy was from Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. Okay.
Yes. And he had his smartphone with him.
Yes.
And he actually took a video. There are some stills that show up from that video, but he got a picture of himself next to himself.
Yes.
With the same tattoo.
Yes.
Only about looked like 30 years older.
Yes, exactly. That was unbelievable. Chanel, I don't know if you can find that quickly and on the web and pull up a picture, but it would be Swedish time travel into the future. But that was so amazing. And of course, there's people who are going to say it's fake and blah, blah, blah. It didn't look at all fake to me. It looked like this really happened. This guy didn't expect it to happen. It was just one of those things where what happened? Do you think he fell into a time slip? What do you think created that?
There was something in his mind. Something in his mind opened up. Hey, there you go.
There it is.
Boy, you guys are sharp.
Our producer is.
Chanel is.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so there it is. So there's a young man, and that's the one who talked about this, who had a smartphone, and there is himself, 30 years, or whatever it was. Yep, same.
Yep, there you go.
Just amazing.
That's incredible. Yeah, absolutely. Then, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Now,
but what do you think about how this got created for him? Because he obviously wasn't purposefully trying to create anything like this, trying to fix a pipe.
Well, your guess is probably as good as mine, but I think something happened in his mind. There were maybe, there's things going on in our subconscious mind all the time that we're not aware of, where he may have thought of something, or a condition may have been made available for him to make the leap. And I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The spooky part for me is what happens if you get trapped in another time?
Yeah.
Because that I'm sure can happen, and it may account for some disappearances where people disappear, never to be seen again. I don't know, because we don't necessarily, like this gentleman, not have really control over it, although he did make it back.
There's another, while we are on stories, I want to take the minute and a half and tell you this story, because there is also a guy named Andrew Carlsen. He was arrested by the New York police for insiders trading.
Oh, yes. Yes, and I've heard about this.
Yeah,
He made a fortune.
he
He
took
made like 30 million, 200 million, something like that.
Yeah, he took $800, and in a matter of a few weeks, he had done 126 trades on the stock market without losing one of them. He parlayed the $800 into $350 million.
Oh my God.
And of course, the regulators, they start looking at that and say, wait a minute, he
Yeah, right.
knows. Yeah. So they went and rounded him up and took him to jail and said, we want to know who did you talk to? And he said, well, I can't really talk much about it, but they did talk him into eventually telling them, I am a time traveler. And I looked at the records of the stock market. So, yeah, he came from the year, there you go, I think he came from the year 2256. And of course, the judge laughed at him and he said, you're going to sit in jail until you tell us how you got your information.
Right.
And they said $1 million bond on him, bail.
Wow.
I think it was 2 days later, somebody showed up with $1 million in a suitcase, gave it to them, and they both left and were never seen again.
Gosh, great
Incredible.
story. Did he take the money with him?
The thing about it is that
320 million?
a lot of people say, yeah, sure, that was just a story that was made up. But they didn't count on me. I went to the Rikers Island records in New York, and I looked it up. There's a case in his name.
Oh,
for heaven's sakes.
You can read about it.
Fantastic. I love it. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, he was held at Rikers Island.
Amazing story. I love that story. It's great.
And there's a mug shot.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So tell us the difference between a time slip and time travel, because you said they're two different things.
Well, time travel, that goes forwards and backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Time slippage, that goes from one timeline slipping on into a parallel timeline that may or may not be in the same time frame.
Uh-huh.
There is a lot of people that have had things happen. Let me explain that'll give you an idea. This is a while back. I came back from the grocery store. I had my arm full of bags and grocery bags and stuff. And I came in, put the car keys on the island in the kitchen. I start putting stuff away in the fridge. Turn around, the car keys are gone. And I said, no, wait a minute. I went and looked in the bags and looked everywhere I could think of it. There were no keys anywhere. A little bit later, I found them in the freezer.
What?
But the trick is, I had not opened the freezer.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't buy anything that went in the freezer. Now, that is evidently something in that parallel timeline. I bought something that went in the freezer and the keys went with it, slipped out of my hand or something.
Yes, exactly.
So if you find yourself doing your regular day and you suddenly feel like things are different, you could very well have slipped into a parallel timeline where 99 or 93% of everything is the same, but it's just that little part of it that is different. And I bet most of us, a lot of us have had that feeling.
Wow. Yeah, producer Chanel said the weirdest experience she ever had was finding one of her dreadlocks on the passenger side of her car floor, but she wasn't missing any hair. Wow. That is a weird one, Chanel. Yeah. Wow.
Amazing.
So these things may happen also more than most people realize, because they just may chalk it up to, well, I must have dropped it in the freezer,
Of course, we explain it away right away,
Yes, we do
We,
try to do
we
that.
got to do that.
Mhm. Or else they
Uh,
would lock us up. I don't know.
yeah.
But these stories are amazing. And you talk about people that have time traveled where there are photographs. And I'm recalling some of those, like the man with the Apple phone. And it was back just, what was it? I don't know, 60, 70 years before the phone was ever invented.
Yep.
Older woman walking down the street, looks like she's carrying a phone with her.
Yeah.
And again, maybe 100 years or so before the phones were invented. So lots of photographs like that, where also people are dressed in contemporary, but then they show up and, people are in old time clothing.
Yeah. We kind of think time is something that comes from the past, passing through the present and heading off into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Linear time works that way, but linear time is going to go away on us. There will be a day when we mentally and spiritually have access to the past and the future and the present at the same time, because it is all happening in the present outside of the 3D or 4D existence.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what linear time is, because science hasn't really discovered it yet, but they will very shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I saw in a universal download when the universe was explained to me in concept and detail. I saw linear time, what it is. You heard the expression, "Oh, that's in a different time frame."
Right.
That is actually a very correct expression.
Mm-hmm.
Linear time is individual frames of present moment, one placed after another one, coming from the past, going through the present, and heading off into the future. So here is one frame of present moment, and the field that creates that present moment collapses to nothing. And it moved over a little bit, and then it recreates itself. The field creates itself again, create a present moment, and collapses to nothing. Creates itself, collapses to nothing. And they move so fast through that it looks like one continuous movie. The distance between each one of the present moment frames is the Planck distance. The Planck distance is minus 10 to the 32nd power. So that's not much of a distance.
No.
And that's why it moves so fast that it looks like one continues. Science will come around to this very shortly, and you can remember I said it, because that is what they will see. Yeah. I talk about this in the book also. In fact, I have a whole chapter on how you can do time travel using the mind only.
Now, what about this device that you have? You obviously invented that too.
No, I did not do that. That was done by someone else.
Oh, okay.
I've had that for 30 years probably, or close to. I did a lot of experimentation with it first. I can show you what it looks like here in just a bit.
Yeah.
I did a lot of experimentation with it. Sat down, put it on, and tried, and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I started to manipulate my brainwave pattern. There's something about 7.4 cycles a second. I don't know exactly what that gate is created by that frequency is, but there's something there. And I had someone else tell me, I didn't come up with that, but someone else told me that, the radionic practitioner. And I tried it, and then I started to see things. I started to experience things. And Well, I've seen enough of the future. I am not worried about the future at all.
Good.
That
That's a good feeling.
yeah,
Good
that
for sure.
that asteroid that they say is going to hit Earth.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. We won't worry.
No,
All right.
I'm going to show you the box. The box. There's actually a radionic box that is part of the time travel device. I'm going to show you one of them at a time.
Sure.
Here is the control box.
Okay.
And if you know anything about radionics, you see you have a tuning, the knobs for tuning,
Mhm.
and there's an on and off switch, and there's a well over here that you can be using for healing of people at a distance.
Oh, nice.
And then we have, there are different forms of output, and this is what the, oh gosh, I guess there you can see it.
Yes.
What it looks like. So in here, there's a time chip, he called it. And, well, I guess the time chip is something that he had made it because he was a mad scientist from Nebraska. And what he did was he made the design and he had somebody create. It's more like he called it a chip. I'm not so sure it is a chip because the way he explained it was a little bigger than a chip. There was more like circuitry.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hooked up that with a time coil that you put around your head.
Oh.
Right at the what we call the third eye or middle here, that goes also all the way through right to the
Right.
through the brain. And then there is a magnet. This is an extremely strong magnet when you plug it in. And there's an electromagnet.
Mm-hmm.
I could put this put it here and put a spoon on the other end, and it'll 2 feet away, and that spoon will just slam right into the magnet. So if I turned it on right now, this computer would be fried.
Oh my God.
For heaven's sakes.
Don't do that then.
Okay. That's a no-no.
Don't do it. Unfortunately, Aage, we've run out of time. We only have 1 minute left. So
okay. Yeah.
Everybody's got your website and they can listen to your podcast. So there's the website, broadcastteamalpha.com. And we are so happy that you made it back.
Oh, definitely.
That we finally have this time together to explore all of these fascinating subjects with you.
Yeah, we didn't even get to talk about the moon. That's another show, maybe.
Oh, definitely.
That's all. We'll just keep bringing you back until we get it all out on the table. This has been fantastic. And the name
there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
This is the one book where I teach you how to use your mind in ways you normally would think would be impossible.
That's fantastic. Well,
this is definitely.
Aage, thank you. We're going to have you back to talk about the moon. That's next. And everybody, continue to stay warm, dry, etc. And we'll have another great show for you next week. Until then, we will see you on the Blue Highway. Good night.
Good night.
And in the word